Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing good. I'm so happy to join back this community once again and share my point of view on one of the very, I think, important topic nowadays. That is, a lot of people want to go out of their country and work internationally. So I'm happy to be here and share my uh, point of view and my experience with everyone. A future beyond my home country. Yes, we all get very excited and we all always look forward to, okay, being in the teaching community, we should go out, we should have this experience. And I definitely agree with you. You should have this experience because everything, this is one life that we have, and whatever is your dream, you should accomplish it at least once. Okay, so here's a short introduction about me. Currently, I'm teaching in Japan, and this is my third international job. And I've been part of the primary years program of IB for the past 8 years. And on a personal note, I have a husband who teaches in UWC in India. I have two daughters, one in DP and the other one in MYP. So I have been a risk taker and I have moved here to Japan with my daughter, but and life is beautiful. Okay, so some of the essential things that are very important when you're applying for an international job, and those things are a very strong CV. If you're a PYP teacher, if you're a Cambridge teacher, it is very important that you have attended some of the workshops because that really adds the points for being appointed in the international community and the international job experience and the in-depth knowledge about. So I'm focusing more on PYP, being a PYP teacher, that in-depth knowledge about PYP, which includes implementations of ATLs, your learner profiles, and key concepts in the class. By this, I mean, how do you implement these in your class? These are one of the very essential questions that I usually asked during your interviews, and the confidence in your teaching methodology. That is very important. How confident you are in your teaching methodology. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Today I am the presenter and I'm the moderator as well. I hope you all can hear me well and you can see my screen also. Okay, so okay, just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, let's go to the next screen. So, your CV is something that is very important. The first thing that is important is your presentation. How is your CV presented? How appealing does it look? And usually, when you apply to schools, they say that your CV should not exceed more than 2 pages. So, for that, the best tip is that do not add your references when you're listing down your educational qualifications, your experience, your certificates, and everything. Do not add your references because usually references you can also add later, or you're usually asked by the schools later. So that's absolutely fine. One tip that I can give you about making a very appealing CV is try to make it on Canva. That really gives a very different look. So this is my CV. I've just put it here, and I have made this on Canva. So it just gives a very different look to your uh, CV. Look for different kinds of CVs and styles of writing while drafting your CV on Google to give your CV a better presentation and it's appealing to the reader. Sometimes we feel, oh, these are my qualifications, this is what I've done, this is what I've written, and these are the workshops I attended, that's it. But sometimes you need to add a few more things to your CV, which are really helpful if you do your research work while you're writing your CV. That is very important. Because I think now the times have gone like how earlier we used to, write our, which we used to say our resumes, and then we used to just quickly just write down all the important points, one page, the CV is done. But now I think the schools and the leaders want to see more interesting things in our CV. It will be good that if you put your CVs in points and also a photograph which where you it's smiling with a natural smile, and also if you have a natural background, that is also much appreciated. So it's not wrong if you do not have, it's always not necessary to have a very professional look in your photograph. The next point about PYP workshops. If you are a PYP teacher, though it is not essential, but it is an added advantage if you've attended category 1 or category 2 workshops. Those are very important part. It becomes a very important part of your CV and gives you the brownie points, which is a star that you are already a PYP trained teacher. Another part of your CV about applying is very important. With your CV, always attach a cover letter. Do not, even if the school has not asked for it, do not just send your curriculum vitae. That's you should also attach your uh, cover letter to it. Okay, just give me a minute. Uh, okay. Okay, can you see the screen now? Just let me know, please, if you can see the. Yeah, I think now you can see the screen. Okay. Okay, you can see the screen now. Okay, Yasin is writing yes. Thank you so much. I'll just go back to my screen. Okay, so as I was sharing with all of you, sorry, my bad that you couldn't see the screen earlier. So as we were talking about the CV and the presentation, the presentation is very important for your CV. It should not exceed more than 2 pages, and it's better if you create it on a Canva so that the presentation looks more appealing, like this one over here. And okay, now let me see. Okay, this is better. I think now you will be able to see my screen better, my PPT better, rather than the earlier one. Okay. Okay, finally, I've been able to sort this out. Thank you. Thank you, Asna, who's been helping me, and thank you to the people, those who are listening to me. And apologies for all this. I'm also a learner. Every day I'm learning. Okay. So as I was saying that it's important with your CV. So you can see the points of the CVs that in order to please go through different kinds of CVs that you can find on the Google and try and add some points. Of course, not seeing and copying, but of course adding your own points and how you can modify your own CV according to the things that you read on Google. That really gives a very different look to your CV. And try and write all whatever things you want to mention in your CV, try to write it point wise. Okay. Put a natural photograph, and it's not always necessary to have a professional photograph. Sometimes a good background, a natural background, is also quite acceptable. PYP workshops, not essential. I'm just repeating my points. PYP workshop, not essential, but yes, they do add the brownie points. Or even your Cambridge workshops, if you've done any, they definitely add the brownie points in your CV and getting the job. Cover letter is something very important. Even if it's not mentioned on the school's website, they just say send your CV, but do send your cover letter as well. Preparing the cover letter is a bit strenuous job, but it is essential and it really adds to your I'll say the importance of you as a teacher, because in your cover letter you usually focus on your teaching philosophy and how do you integrate the different IB learner profiles in your teaching, your day to day life as a teacher, or even if you are a Cambridge teacher or teaching any curriculum, how do you inculcate the different styles of teaching and how important are the students for you. That is something very essential that you need to mention in your cover letter. And how on a daily basis, how much importance do you give to your student teacher relationship? That's very essential. So do mention all these points in your cover letter. Begin your cover letter by just giving a short introduction about yourself, not everything what you've mentioned in the CV, but just a short introduction that you're a teacher for so many years, you've been into PYP for so many years, and why are you looking for a new job opportunity, or why should a school hire you? What is that star thing in you as a teacher that the school should hire you? And cover letters usually try to make 2 3 different kinds of cover letters which suit to different kinds of positions that you're applying for in your school. And also whenever you're making a cover letter, also try and read the school's page about their vision, their mission, and maybe you can also inculcate those in your cover letter if you feel you have those as a teacher in you. That gives you another star to be employed as a teacher in their organization. Okay, so for job search, many websites you can rely on, but these are some websites that I have listed here that are like wishlistjobs.com, Scroll, ISS, joyjobs.com, and Teacher Horizon. So usually you have to pay from your pocket to get enrolled in these websites, and they also ask you to put again fill up the whole form, and then these websites will also ask you to say they will ask you references, and then your references are also sent some forms to be filled up. So when you're logging or when you're taking the membership of these websites, be very particular who are your seniors or who are in your leadership team to whom you are going to send these and who will be happy to fill these up for you. Because I had this experience, which was a very sad one, where I had almost got the letter from one of the schools, and then they were approaching my references, and one of the references just didn't fill up. And then and that gave me a hint that okay, next time I should not write this person's name. So just be very careful, mindful that whose names are you going to put in as references, so that you know that yes, you can trust on them and they are going to fill it up for you at the right time. So I talk about Shroll, ISS, Joy Jobs, and Teacher Horizon. All these websites, they will ask you about, you have to fill up their form that is there, and of course they will send a letter to your references. But there is a good point about wishlistjobs.com, and that good point is that you do not have to fill up anything. You just have to fill up your login ID. You have to enroll in your login ID, your password, and of course there is a cost that is there to this website, but they will not ask you to send any letters to your references, or you do not have to fill up long applications. But what will happen on wishlistjobs.com is that you just go to their website, you look for the region that you're looking the job for, or you type your post that you're looking the job for, and you get a list. And I think on a weekly basis they update their website around thrice a week, twice or thrice a week. And then you click over there on the job that is according to your preference, and when you click there they will tell you that you can straight away go to the school website, and then at the school website you can see whatever is their procedure for you to uh, apply as a candidate for the position. That is totally up to you how you do it. And now the next one, questions asked during the interview. So actually, if you are a trained teacher and you have given a lot of interviews, international interviews are not so difficult. They ask you the same questions, like, why do you want to apply to this organization? Yes, one question can be different, is why do you want to move to this country? What is that interest of yours that you want to move to a particular country? And if you're a PYP teacher, a lot of questions will be asked to you about PYP or UOI. And also they ask you sometimes that how do you implement the ATLs, or how do you implement the learner profiles in your classroom? These are some questions that are usually asked for your interviews. Also, when you are preparing for any organization's interview, always remember to go through their website, look at their vision, mission, what is their plan for the next 2 years or 3 years. They always have a strategic plan that has been put on the websites. Also, go through their UOIs on their website if the school has their UOI. So all these small points, sometimes you just tend to ignore, but they are very important when you're applying for any kind of interview. And of course, if you use a lot of PYP words, that is a plus, which shows that yes, you do have your knowledge about PYP. And so I would just like to say that sometimes we feel, oh wow, this person has got an international job, but yes, there is lots to do before you reach to that point of achieving that job. And one more suggestion that I would like to give you is that whenever you get your contract letter for any international job, always look for the hidden points, like, are they providing you accommodation? What are the flight tickets they're giving you? And what are the taxes that are going to be cut from your salary? These are some things that are very essential, because sometimes we think that, okay, the salary portrayed to us is amazing, but there are taxes. There are a lot of hidden taxes sometimes that are cut, which we are not aware of so much. And And I would also like to tell you that regarding these job search websites, use these are the ones that are very reasonable ones. Like between, I'll talk about in Indian currency, from 2,500 to 5,500. That is their membership. It varies for different websites. The most expensive one I have not mentioned here is Search Associates. If you want to go through that, that is also a good platform, but these are the ones that are not expensive and will also give you a good opportunity. So I have usually got my jobs through one of these websites, so that's why I am recommending these, and a lot of my friends have also got through these websites, so that's why I'm recommending these. And okay, let's go to the next one. I'm sure you all will have a few questions. So right now, since I cannot see the screen where you're typing the questions, so I will first finish my presentation of the PPT, and then I'll go back to the screen and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Please keep noting down your questions, and at the end, we'll have a question answer session where you are more than welcome to ask me any questions. Okay, so it's never too late to focus on your dreams. This is something that I've written, which is truly, truly about my experience. So if you can read it, that we all have dreams and we work very hard to accomplish them. But with your dreams, also keep in mind your family and your loved ones. Once you are in a family, your dreams are just not yours. This is very, very important. I'm also married. I have kids, husband. So when I was moving for this international job, this is the first time I've moved away from my husband. The last two jobs I was with my husband. So there has to be a consent of your family before you move anywhere. I'm not saying that you need to have an approval that, oh, you might say, why do I need to take an approval? It's not about approval, it's about a consent. Because when you have a mutual agreement amongst all, how many family members, your in laws, so it's a happy moving, right? Where you are also happy, your family is also happy about the new decision that you've taken in your life. And for me also, it was not very, very sudden that, okay, I got this job and I just started and I just went there. It took me some time to, sit, have a talk with my family. First, I had to talk to them about my dreams, that this is my dream. I want to do this once in my lifetime. And I was lucky enough, and I thank God that I was able to do it. And I'm sure everything takes time, and there is a right time for everything. So if some things are not going on or not happening right now, please, please don't be discouraged. There will be a right time for everything. Uh, okay. And suddenly you just know it's a time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginnings. My PPT is not very big, it's not very long. And okay, let me see. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. Any questions that you have, please go ahead and feel free to ask me. I'm here. You can start putting on your questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Uh, Interview is a challenging for new learners. How can anyone prepare leading the A for? Okay, so that's what I said. When you have to prepare for an interview, some things are very, very important, like how I had shared in my slide. I'll just go back. Please let me know if you can see it. Okay, so here. So questions that are asked during the interview, they are related usually to your curriculum, whichever curriculum you're working with. They're usually related to your curriculum. How do you implement the curriculum? Sometimes they also ask you, how does your day go by? What will happen if I enter your classroom? What kind of a classroom will I see? So these are some questions that are usually asked in the interview. And as I told you, things that are they will also ask you, what is that, why do you want to join our organization? Or if you're moving to another country, why do you want to move to this country? What is that is attracting you to move to this country? And also having a lot of information about the organization, that is very, very important. If you are a PYP teacher, please keep using a lot of PYP words from your learner profiles, your ATLs, your key concepts. And from your UOI, be very, very thorough and make points about the UOI that you are working on and how you are implementing it. It has to be you have to be very, very particular. And if even if, for some answers you feel that you are not sure, don't quit. Give the answers. Maybe it's just not right for you, but maybe it's okay for the interviewer who's interviewing you. Okay. uh, being a risk taker, yes, and to be balanced, I'll say, instead of being balanced, risk taker definitely yes, and also to be a thinker. When you're applying for interviews outside your home country, it's very, very essential for you to be a thinker, to be an inquirer, to keep researching about that country, to keep researching about that school. That is very, very important. Please go ahead. I'm here to answer your questions. My presentation is not very long because these are some basic things that are required for you to be part of the community if you want to apply for jobs internationally. And some other small, small points, like I told you, if you are usually for a PYP school, it depends on the country, whether you need a B.Ed, a D.Ed. Some countries have the requirement that if you're hiring a teacher from outside, an expat teacher, B.Ed is a requirement, but in some countries it's not a requirement. And it also depends on the school, how they want to, what kind of a candidate are they looking for. Sometimes your experience matters, and sometimes your degrees matter. So it depends on which countries. If you're applying for UAE, for Dubai, yes, B.Ed is very, very important. But if you're applying for Southeast Asian countries, your experience matters more. I'm just reading my notes to see if I have left anything and I have not. Yeah, I think I have mentioned all the points. Uh, Please go ahead with your questions. And moving to an international environment, be prepared that things might not be as same as your own country. It's very, very different in different countries. So you have to be very, very strong minded when you make this decision. Risk taker, yes, you are being courageous. That is the point number one, and it is very, very important. And you have to know that, okay, if I have taken this decision, and if you are traveling alone, there is nobody who's going to be there to always who's always going to be there for you. So there are some things that you have to do individually on your own when you are going out of your country. Because when we are in our own country, we have family members, we have our spouses who are helping us throughout everything. But like right now over here in Japan, I'm here with my daughter, and I'm doing everything on my own, single handed. Of course, the school is guiding me, helping me, but I am alone and I have to do everything on my own. So you have to be very, very strong minded to move ahead and take this decision. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think I've answered all the questions and I've shared all my point of view. So I will take your leave now. And I hope this short webinar has been helpful to the people who really want to move out of their country and want to take a step, a future beyond their own country. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a lovely evening. Take care, rest well. Bye bye.